Havoc said in the studio one day. So what? I said, looking at Hab puzzled. Fuck Ja Rule. He was always corny to me. Plus my man E Money Bags didn't like his whole Murder Inc. and Supreme Team crew. So Ja Rule was the enemy. Ja Rule's shooting his video today, and he wants us to be in it, Havoc said in the studio one day. So what? I said, looking at Hab puzzled. Fuck Ja Rule. I don't want to be in that nigga video. Come on, I'm going, Hab said. Come with me. Nah, I'm good. Fuck Ja Rule and his video. You ain't gotta be in the video if you don't want to, Hab said. Just come with me, so I ain't gotta go by myself. It's gonna be mad bitches there. Okay, I'll meet you over there, I said, though I had no intentions of showing up. Send me the location. That night, I went to Alchemist's crib in Manhattan to bring him a copy of the Murder Music movie. I started bringing my camcorder everywhere and filmed us in Alchemist's apartment working on a song for his album called Hold You Down. Alchemist's brother, Neil, had 50 Cent's DVD, The New Breed. So we watched 50's DVD and Murder Music and smoked some blunts. At our Queens studio the following day, Havoc was mad that I stood him up, telling me that I missed out on seeing all the females and the rappers in Job's New York video featuring Fat Joe and Jadakiss. So what? I said to myself. I don't give a fuck who was there. All I cared about was Mobb Deep and America's Nightmare. We proceeded to work on the album. Fuck everybody else, especially Irv Gotti and Ja Rule. Chapter 11. America's Nightmare. P, yeah, you heard of him. Big ignorant chains and sports cars, gallons of Bacardi, been at the awards. I need a bitch like Christina Aguilera for a broad. I know I could splack that. She dying for a thug, and she heard of me. She know about my infamous life. Shootouts in New York with various types. Fast money, faster guns. We party every night. When you hit her. Alchemist played a new beat for me at his crib as we were putting the finishing touches on America's Nightmare. He sampled the 80s hit, She Blinded Me with Science, transforming it into a hardcore club banger. The beat was so hot that we played it for Havoc and immediately wrote a song called Got It Twisted to add to the new album at the last minute. We always came up with the hottest songs for our albums at the last minute. As soon as Chris Lighty and Job heard Got It Twisted, they wanted to shoot a video and use it for the official first single. Job wasted no time. Director Benny Boone shot the video in Los Angeles. When the video came out, we got a call to do a small tour in Europe, including a festival in Sweden with all rock acts. Mobb Deep and Busta Rhymes were the only rappers. Havoc and I released a mix CD called The West Coast Mixtape, hosted by DJ Big Mike, featuring us rapping over Tupac, Snoop Dogg, Mac 10, Ice Cube, Sugar Free, and other West Coast rappers' tracks. As soon as we arrived at the hotel in Sweden, swarms of kids were waiting for us. Alchemist and I went for a stroll to check out the scene. Two little blonde kids, no more than 8 years old, walked up and started rapping. I didn't realize it at first, but when I listened, I realized they were reciting my rhymes from the West Coast Mix CD that we just released no more than a week before. Yo, do you hear what they're saying? Alchemist said. That's from the West Coast CD. Yeah, I know. How do y'all know them lyrics, shorty? Alchemist asked. My brother got it off the internet, one of them said. Do you want to meet my brother and his friends? They got a lot of girls they can hook you up with. We laughed and told him to get his brother. That was the first time I realized the power of the internet. Within a week, this little 8-year-old Swedish kid knew a verse by heart, word for word, that I had just written and recorded. It was amazing. Seeing the people in Sweden for the first time was also amazing. Nothing but blonde-haired, blue-eyed females all over the place. 5 minutes later, the two kids came back with a crew of dudes in their early 20s. When they saw Alchemist in me, they started repeating more of my lyrics and some of their own rhymes. We posed for pictures with them on their camera phones. Then Alchemist and I walked around to check out more of Sweden. At around 11 that night, we took the stage at the Busta Rhymes. An hour into our performance, I saw something unbelievable. The sun started shining, and it slowly became daytime all over again, shortly after midnight. From midnight until 8 o'clock the next night, there was full sunshine. I felt disoriented, like I was on drugs. In the hotel lobby after the show, Alchemist and I saw the two little kids again. It was 2 a.m., but the sun was shining bright. "Hey, you want to see something crazy?" the chubbier blonde kid asked. "What?" I asked him. I guess these kids' parents let them stay out because it still looks like it's daytime. "And what are y'all still doing out?" They ignored the question and led us into the hotel business lounge, where there were complimentary computers and faxes for guests. "Watch this," the skinnier blonde kid said, as he started quickly typing on a computer keyboard. Suddenly, the power went out through the entire hotel. "Yo, this little bastard's some type of computer hacker." "I just shut them down," he said, laughing. "It'd take them a long time to figure out what happened." "Y'all some little troublemaking motherfuckers, huh?" I said. "Let's get out of here before they blame us for this." "I'm gonna hire you guys for our Swedish street team," Alchemist told the kids, taking their phone numbers in the lobby. They were happy. After Sweden, we toured Switzerland, Norway, and Poland, and our last stop was Amsterdam, Holland, home of the world-famous red light district and legal marijuana. I filmed everything on a camcorder for our infamous Allegiance DVD. Walking through the red light district, Derek, our man from high school, was filming all the prostitutes in the windows, who closed the curtains when they saw the camera. One prostitute saw Derek filming and ran out the glass door trying to hit Derek, calling him a nigger. Back in New York, I went to the violator management office while making my usual rounds in Manhattan. 50 Cent arrived 5 minutes later, and Busta Rhymes was also there. We kicked it for a few minutes. Mona Scott, one of Chris Lighty's partners, called me into her office and asked me to consider co-starring in a straight-to-DVD film called Full Clip, along with Busta Rhymes, Exhibit, Bobby J. Thompson, and Tiny Lister, better known as Debo from the movie Friday. The script was basically a rewrite of Bucktown, the old 70s film starring Fred Williamson, of whom I was a big fan. So I signed on to the project. Filming would begin in a few months, so I had time to memorize my lines. 50 Cent's Get Rich or Die Trying debut studio album was selling like crack, over 10 million copies. He became the biggest selling rap artist next to Eminem and Nelly from St. Louis. Atlanta rappers were also on the rise. Outkast had sold millions of albums. T.I. was on the come-up, while Ludacris and Lil Jon were popular across the country at that time because they offered a new energy. 50 took full advantage of how hot he was by hooking up with Jay-Z, who plugged him in with Reebok to create a G-Unit sneaker. 50 also started a label imprint, G-Unit Records, signed West Coast rapper The Game, and planned to release a G-Unit Crew album with his artists Lloyd Banks, Tony Yayo, and Young Buck. He created G-Unit Clothing with Mark Echo. He was doing all the things that we should have done as soon as we became famous, except we were too young and foolish. In life, you have a small window to take advantage of opportunity, and if you're slow to move, the window will close. But Havoc and I are a rare breed. Our position as the most infamous is permanent, and Mobb Deep will forever be hot no matter what. All we have to do is do what we do. We pay close attention to the music industry, but we don't get caught up about anybody's success. Be yourself to the best of your ability, and your possibilities will be infinite. I finally released the Murder Music DVD through Koch Films. It felt like a huge mission accomplished to see it on shelves. My Titanic was on the market now. Havoc and I had a huge album release party on the night that America's Nightmare was released. Hundreds of people were lined up outside because the spot was at capacity and the fire department threatened to shut us down. The Game, the Lox, Black Thought from the Roots, Tretch from Naughty by Nature, Raekwon from Wu-Tang, M.O.P., many actors, comedians, and rappers showed up. There was a freestyle cypher on stage before our special performance. We were popping so much champagne and Hennessy that when it was time to perform, I was twisted. When Survival of the Fittest came on, I spit the lyrics for Shook Ones. Ron Artest was on stage with us.